Okay, it's morning of day 3, Sunday. Well, last night I made my way up what seemed like the biggest hill on the entire trace, and I was completely out of energy. I had to look at my phone and see how much longer, and I stopped to rest like 3 or 4 times. It was the end of the day, and I just was completely out of energy. I needed to stop. So I got to the top of the hill and just laid down right on the trail as soon as it got flat. I've got to still have that pain in my right knee and right elbow. I was hoping it'd go away overnight, but it hasn't, so that's going to be annoying. I did get plenty of sleep last night. Got going at like 6:40 this morning, a little bit earlier than yesterday. I got on 35.5 miles yesterday, and I was going for 34, but I decided to do an extra mile and a half yesterday so that I don't have to do it today, because I have a lot of miles of walking along the Cumberland today, and there's no way I'm gonna make 37. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be able to make 35.5 that I'm trying to do today, so we'll see about that. But I just need to make good time when I'm not next to the river. I have to show you guys one of the most ridiculous contraptions I've ever seen in my life. Here we have a set of stairs in the trail. Goes up, goes down. Over that log. That's why they built those stairs. And then someone just came along and cut the section out of the log. What? So I've had an eventful few minutes. I came down a little embankment and completely slipped on my butt on some mud. I couldn't stand back up because it was too slippery, so I went ahead and gave up all pride and just slid down 10 or 15 more feet. And at that point I was so muddy, I decided to wash myself off in the creek over there, so I took a little bath. That's why I look all fresh and clean. And then I come to the river, but it's like flowing the wrong way. So I realized this is not the river, this is Rock Creek. Let me show you Rock Creek. So what's interesting about Rock Creek is I have to cross it. There's the sign. So I got to figure out how to get across this guy. I don't know if there used to be a bridge or not. I don't see one anywhere. I just see the sign. Maybe the bridge is under there. So this is going to be interesting. All right, guys. Here's the solution. Sleeping pad, backpack. You'll notice it's not big enough for me. So I'm just going to push it across, and it's going to finish the trail for me. I've got the GPS tracker attached to the pack, and it's basically just going to... I'm going to have to swim behind this thing, and this water's pretty cold. So I've crossed the big South Fork before swimming a couple times. This is a lot easier. So that's what I'm telling myself. All right. I'm gonna have to put the phone away for this one. Wish me luck. I made it. I don't recommend it. I had to hold on to the raft because I could not have swam without some kind of buoyancy aid. But I made it. Luckily there's a bit of sun out. I'm not too cold in the sun, but that water, man, it took like 3 or 4 minutes to just try to get used to it. And I was like yelling all the way across. Unsupported. I really want to like I don't know what I wanted to do. Ask someone for help, but there's no one around to help. So I think the trail might be below the water right now. So I'm gonna try to find it, and if I can, I'm just gonna bushwhack along next to Rock Creek, which has become a river. I think it's all backed up from the Big South Fork. There's no way I'm doing 36 miles today. Not happening. All right. So I packed everything up, got out of the floodplain, and I'm up onto the floodplain, the higher floodplain. This is the trail. It wasn't underwater, thankfully. Well, it isn't underwater. It was underwater a few days ago because it's just mud. Actually, it just turned a pretty good surface. Nice. But look at this. Look at this creek. See all that debris there? That's not land. That's just debris. That's crazy. I think, I've never been on this part of the Sheltowee, but I think there was probably a bridge there. Although there's currently no sign of one. So, this is interesting. I haven't seen anyone all day on the trail. Maybe that's why. So here's the trail. And it goes under the river. I think I just picked the wrong time of year to do this. So right there, there's a little blue blaze on that tree. That's the trail. I've been bushwhacking up this slope here. Not too bad, it's like a mile an hour. But I'm coming to this, which is just a wall of thorn bushes, and I can't get through it. I'm gonna have to go up to the road to go around the corner and then hopefully get back to the trail. But these next few miles of trail might be impossible. I'm not sure what to do yet. So that kind of sums up probably what the rest of my mileage today is going to be. I literally can't even see the trail. So my plan is I'm just going to try to bushwhack next to the trail. It'll probably be like 1 mile an hour stuff. So my previous goal of 36 miles today is out the window. Like, I want to be angry. I wish I had someone to blame other than myself. But hey, it's an adventure. So thankfully, I only had to get completely off the trail for maybe 50 yards, go around a small bridge, and then I was able to get right back on it. I'm really glad because I did not want to do any more of that bushwhacking. Speaking of, so the trail has been much better, entirely above water now for 2, 3, 4 miles, something like that. I've just been ticking off the miles, which is really nice. Now I'm at Yahoo Falls. Check this out. So I was super discouraged by the slow pace earlier today, and actually took like an actual break first one that I've taken the whole trip. For like 15 minutes, I just sat down and ate some snacks and stared out at the river. And I decided I just need to cut back on my mileage, take today easier, and I'll make up what I can in the coming days. So my goal is to get to mile 95-ish tonight, which would be, let's see, like 29 miles today, which is 7 miles short of what I wanted, but that's not really important, is it? I just gotta be consistent and keep ticking off miles. I'll make the miles up later. No big deal. All right, it's 5:30 a.m. Just woke up. Here's my little cowboy camp I made last night. Not much to it. Getting ready to start day 4. Should be moving in about 25 minutes or so. So I got going this morning a little bit late, had to do some foot care before I got out of bed. When I started moving, my right patellar tendon again is just incredibly painful, like way worse than yesterday. I could only walk a little over a mile an hour. It's terrible pain. So I took some ibuprofen first thing in the morning, and that's a problem because I don't have enough painkillers to be taking them all day long. But I've got good trail and road right now, so I'm just gonna make hay while the sun shines, and we'll see what happens throughout the day. This was supposed to be my big day today. I was gonna wake up, get in like 38 or 40 miles, get back on track after yesterday, but I don't know if this tendon pain doesn't go away. I might be in some trouble. So I stopped to take another break, my second of this trip. Probably gonna hang out here for 10 or 15 minutes. Really neat overhang. It's nice and cool. The sun came out today and it's starting to get hot. It's probably 70. It's not too bad, but I'm feeling it. I figured out that I can hike with this water bottle on my neck inside of my hood, which is super nice. I am moving at a decent pace, but not great. I think I've covered 16 miles today, but it's taken me almost 7.5 hours to do that. So I'm about halfway through the time that I would like to spend hiking today, but I'm not quite halfway through my mileage. So I'm gonna need to speed up or just hike into the night, and I'm guessing it's gonna be hike into the night because my body is not feeling great. So I left the Big South Fork, went up and then down into another river drainage. This is the Cumberland River over here, and it was not nearly as high, I'm guessing, as the Big South Fork, judging from the debris field. However, it did come up and cover parts of the trail. This is the trail I'm walking on right now, which is crazy. It's all unstable, like walking on a beaver dam. All right, I look really stupid. Oh. I'm using my buff. I'm dipping it in the creek and then putting it behind my head to block the sun and cool my neck. It's like trail air conditioning. It's super worth it, and there's no one else out here to see me. But look at this. That's the trail. It's hip height on me. I gotta climb up there and walk across it. This is so frustrating because I know it's just gonna go up again later, which is fine, but it just keeps coming down into this debris field. This would be super pretty if it hadn't just flooded. I wish I could have spent more time in Cumberland Falls State Park. Man, the falls were really rocking at this high water level. That was cool to see. There's a lot to do there and see there, but I gotta make miles. The trail through the state park is really technical. I'm not making very good time. All right, it's getting late in the day. Sun's getting ready to go down. Finally, first time today, I'm hitting on all cylinders. Going fast, making good time. It's a pretty technical trail, but I'm averaging about 3 miles an hour. My knee tendons aren't bothering me at all, which is awesome. I'm trying to make either 6 or 7 miles longer tonight, which would put me at 30 or 31 for the day before I quit. I'll be hiking probably half an hour after dark to get that mileage in. But hopefully tomorrow morning I can continue like this and actually do some bigger mileage. Something over 35 tomorrow, that'd be awesome. Well, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm coming out of Bark Camp Creek, which is a big creek. It looks even bigger than Rock Creek, which was the one I had to swim. And the trail just goes underwater. It's nighttime. I can't see what's past it. I don't know if I should like climb the cliffs. Maybe the trail comes back up out of the water. There was a flood route that I saw back there, but it's not the official trail. Anyway, I've been going for 15 and a half hours and I need to sleep. And there is not a single flat spot. Not even big enough for my body anywhere around here. So I may take 20 or 30 minutes and try to find a little spot. Here's what I'm dealing with. It's just a big mountain area and I'm trying to climb up these rocks and maybe find one time I got lucky in the Big South Fork and found a nice spot on top of a big house-sized rock that was perfect for me. Maybe I can find that again tonight. Okay, I found a spot. Well, I guess I'll show it to you here. Here's my little spot. It's great. Nice little overhanging rock face there. Hopefully those don't fall down on me overnight. And all my stuff laid out here. I'm gonna sleep tight. Okay, I don't know how well you can see, but that's the trail. It goes into the water. And then the other way, I've got some nice mud here. And then there's more water that way. And there's a cliff here. I'm just not sure what to do. I can pick my way along the cliff and hope that the trail reemerges from the water. But looking at the topo, that's definitely not a certainty that it's gonna come back out of the water anytime in the next mile or two. I could walk in the water, but I think that's stupid. Or I could go back and take the flood trail. But at that point, I'm no longer on the official Sheltowee Trace. If I weren't trying for an FKT, I would definitely... take the flood trail. I'd say screw this. I am not sure what to do today. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, I found the trail. It came back out of the water. I'm so happy because it goes up. And I think it's gonna spend most of its time not in the water. So that means I can follow trail today and not hike on cliffs and whatnot all morning, and hopefully I can make some good time. So I just did some rock climbing from there down to that little guy and that little guy and down to there. I'm off trail now, trying to get back to it where it comes out of the water. So that's the trail, completely cliffed out. I think this is the final straw on trying to follow the trail next to the Cumberland River. It just doesn't exist anymore. It's completely buried. 60-70% of it so far has been underwater, and I've just been climbing up the cliffs and coming back down for like 50 feet of trail. So there is a high water route, but it is I should have taken it like a mile or two back when I had the option. I don't have that option anymore, but I need to find a way over to it, which means I'm gonna have to climb, well, not climb those cliffs, but I gotta find a weakness in those cliffs somewhere and get up onto the top and then bushwhack my way over to the high water route. The other option is that I can retrace all the mile or so that I made this morning. Yeah, it's been an hour. I've probably made about a mile. I really don't want to have to do that. So I haven't been filming much while bushwhacking because it's impossible to hold a camera and do this at the same time. But it is just so disappointing to me that I can't stay on the main trail. Whoa, that's mud. So I'm bushwhacking back along the cliff face. It's one of the easier areas because I can hold the camera. And I'm gonna try to find a weakness in these cliffs and see if I can go up. And if not, I'll eventually find myself back at where the Sheltowee Trace high water route separates from the main trace. I didn't want to take that this morning because it's slightly shorter. I don't know, maybe half a mile or a mile shorter than the main route. So I was going to try to stay on the main route. So I'm not trying to shortcut distance, but at this point I've definitely done more mileage. I've definitely done more mileage than had I just stayed on one or the other. So I don't think anybody's gonna try to say that I did this to shortcut distance. I can go here. And then up. Whoa. Yeah. Stupid. Well, the climbing didn't work. I got halfway up. There's a move I couldn't make, especially with a backpack on. So I came back down, moved forward like 300 feet, and there's this nice, easy way to the top. So I think I'll be on the high water route soon enough. In the next 5 minutes, I should find it. All right, I found the high water route. Yes, that feels good. Now I think I can start making some miles today. Okay, so I'm back at the main Sheltowee because I needed to cover the ground in between where I hit the flood route and the main trail. So now I'm gonna turn back around and follow the whole flood route. The Forest Service just recently did a prescribed burn through this area. Pretty interesting to walk through. Okay, I'm back on the primary route. Feels good. All right, I've got a nice little road walk here. I have made this morning about 3 miles of forward progress in 3.5 hours of movement. I'm really just praying that I can get back on some real trail here soon. This has to be the best surface to walk on. I'm walking on moss and grass that are growing on top of an old asphalt road. So it's got great traction, but also some nice padding. And the sexiness is back. So I'm at Laurel Lake, Laurel River. Looks like a lake to me. And some horn keeps blowing. It's really loud. I don't know what that means. It's like impending doom or something. There's a dam down there. I guess there's a spillway down there. I'm on the dam. There's the lake. Nice, pretty lake. Just saw a family out backpacking. The third group of backpackers I've seen in over 100 miles. So there's not a lot of people on the Sheltowee right now. Well, I'm mostly done with the Laurel Lake section. It's been really nice having flat trail. It's easy to hike on. I've been able to sustain over 3 miles an hour the whole time without spending too much energy. Both of my patellar tendons are feeling much less painful today. Part of that's the pain meds. I think part of it is I'm just getting used to it and my brain's starting to filter it out, or realizing it doesn't need to be constantly telling me to stop anymore because I'm not going to. But this part of the hike is really nice. Just contours around a lake, around all the little fingers. Easy, flat trail. I love it. So this is Van Hook Falls. It is hot today. It's in the mid 70s, and that's slowing me down. But I pulled over and took a 20-minute nap next to a nice cool little creek laying on the cool ground, and when I woke up I was really refreshed. I may start doing that every day in the heat of the day. It really helped, I think. All right, it's one of my favorite times of the day. 7 p.m. Time for some pain medication, baby. I need it. So I was able to go like 80% of the day with dry feet, and it was awesome. It really helped. And now, just before camp, I get to go feet wet, and I'm not minding it at all. Feels great. Nice little, it's like an ice bath before bed. So I'm sitting here at night with the contents of my backpack torn out and strewn on the ground because I cannot find my headlamp. And that's really bad because I have at least 15 to 20 more hours of night hiking that I have to do over the course of this trip. So what this video is being lit with is my backup headlamp. There's a tiny little flashlight that I brought just in case my headlamp broke, not in case I lost it, because I would never do something that's stupid. But I've got this tiny little backup headlamp. It's not, I don't think it's good enough. I mean, it's barely good enough. That's why I brought it. It weighs like 0.6 of an ounce. That's why I brought it. So I was already moving pretty slow at night. Now I'm gonna have to move even slower. And I was already moving pretty slow during the day, so I was gonna need to do more miles at night. I'm so mad at myself right now. I think I put it in my front pocket and it came out somewhere on the trail today. I was reaching back there to grab something out of it, and I must have, without realizing it, popped the light out and it just fell on the trail behind me as I hiked. So this trail has just messed with me. Every single day there's some new unexpected thing. And if this keeps happening every day, I can't finish. So I'm super discouraged right now. I've got a couple hours of night hiking. I'm going to test this headlamp out. I mean, it's fine if there were blazes on the trail, but there's not blazes on the trail. They don't blaze this trail. You have a blaze every half mile if you're lucky. This is going to be very difficult. It's not a trail made for night hiking, and I need to hike a lot at night. All right, enough whining. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna figure that one out. Cool. Okay, I made it across. The wood was messed up, but the cables are fine. It's like 20 feet high or so. And the flood messed it up. These guys were really singing a second ago. A bunch of them in here. Okay, well, last night I was able to do a few more miles on the road at night. It was nice that I got to hike on a road. This headlamp is okay. I figured it would be. It's not quite as good as the other one. You can see it up here on my hat. But it works. It'll get the job done. Unfortunately, I lost 3 of my 12 AAA batteries with that lamp, so I've only got 9 left. And I wasn't able to test battery life with this headlamp and lithium batteries before the trip, so I think I'll have enough, but I'm not sure. I only got 29 miles in yesterday, which is pretty bad. I have a little bit of an excuse because what happened in the morning, but today is a put up or shut up day. I gotta rip out 37 miles. That's my goal today. That'll take me to mile marker 192 out of 343. I think I can do it if I just average 2.5 miles an hour through all my 14 daylight hours. That should give me 35 miles, and then I can pick up the rest at night. So today's gonna be a big day regardless. If I can't pull off miles today, I'm 17 miles behind where I need to be. So I've got to start cutting into that deficit every day. I didn't have to set up my shelter last night again. The weather's been perfect, hasn't rained on me once. It is supposed to get a little hotter today, I think 79. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I can't complain too bad. It's not raining. I think it may rain tomorrow on me, we'll see. But today, just making those miles. I did not Indiana Jones across that one. So I've got a few things to be happy about today. Today is day number 6, so I've got 5 out of my 10 days complete. I'm halfway home. That's awesome. Another thing is I've got, this is the first day my pack weight has been under 25 pounds. Super happy about that. I feel more like a backpacker and less like a load hauling mule. So that was only 2 things, but I can't remember the third thing. I'll think of it later. So I'm using more battery on my cell phone than I had anticipated, unfortunately. And I don't have a whole lot of extra in my pack. So I may have to film a little bit less. Don't you worry though. I'll still get all the good stuff. Like, I'll let you know when I remember what that third thing is. All right, update. At about noon, I pulled off to this beautiful little creek area to try to wash some of my gear and grab some water. And I also happened to take a pee and noticed that it was like dark brown, which it's not supposed to be. Never had that before. I also remembered my pee burned this morning, which I've never had either. So thankfully I've got an internet signal here, and the first thing I did was look up rhabdomyolysis, and sure enough, dark colored brown urine is indicative of rhabdo, which would make sense considering I've gone, I think I'm at mile 169 right now. So 169 miles in just over 5 days. So I think I'm gonna have to call this one. I don't want to quit. Like, I'm feeling good. I can run another 20 miles today if I need to. But from what I saw online, rhabdo can cause heart failure, kidney failure, death. So I don't... That's a pretty good reason to quit, I guess. So I think I'm going to have to call it, unfortunately. 169 miles in. I was right on track, actually. I was a few miles behind where I really wanted to be, but I would have been able to make the miles up, I think, in the future, because the northern miles are a lot easier than the southern miles, and I don't think there's going to be as much flood damage, and my pack was getting lighter every day, but there's just no way that I can intelligently say I should continue this at this point. So this is going to be the end of my unsupported FKT attempt on the Sheltowee Trace. And I would say that I've learned a ton from this. It's been an awesome experience. I've hated it every single day, but I've loved it too. And I think I've gotten everything I wanted to out of this, other than the finish and the actual FKT. So I don't think I'll be coming back and trying this. I think 3 or 4 day attempts are probably the most that I want to try in the future as far as really hard stuff. 10 days is just a lot. It's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. And I'm sad it's over, but I'm also glad. I gave my wife a call. She's on her way up here to pick me up, and I just have to chill now and hang out in this beautiful little creek area until she gets here. I think I'm gonna take a nap, probably wash off in the creek. So thanks for watching, and I don't really have a good way to end this. I guess it just ends like this.